Last night on MasterChef Australia, Ellie, Rachel and Chelsea teamed up for a lucky dip challenge. But failed to impress the judges.
A smoked octopus doesn't go with that dish whatsoever.
Tonight,
I wish it didn't have to be you guys. I know.
the three close friends will compete against each other.
This is the pressure test on steroids.
They've got no recipe and no clues.
There's lots of interesting and weird techniques.
What was I thinking?
Don't open the lid. Oh, sugar. Can I be right?
Friends become foes.
I want this so much. I want it this much.
I think she's lost it.
It's kind of like she's gone into meltdown.
But for one of them, the competition must end.
Yesterday, Ellie, Chelsea and I competed in the Lucky Dip Challenge and we cooked the worst dish of the day. So today we battled it out in a pressure test to keep our place in the MasterChef kitchen. My natural inclination is to mother.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Most of my life, I have made sure that everyone else's dreams happen, and today I have to start taking big steps to make sure my dream will happen.
I want my kids to be proud of me, and I want them to see it doesn't matter how old you are, that you can still learn and grow and never give up on your dreams.
And I think it's an amazing witness to your kids that you can do this.
I know.
Yeah.
My mum and dad always want the best for me, and for them, that's getting a degree. My mum works with Queensland Health, and so I guess I've followed in her footsteps and gone down a path of nursing. Now I can just see myself being a chef, and that's why I don't want to go home today.
Ringing my dad in tears last night and frazzled and emotional, and he puts things into perspective and tells me, stop doubting everything that you do, trust your gut instinct, because I don't do that enough. My father's a great chef, and one day we're going to open up our own place. I know exactly where my heart lies now, without a doubt. It's with food, and there's nothing else that makes me happy. It's the only thing that kind of lights my fire in my belly.
It's going to be really hard today cooking off against Rachel and Chelsea. We've just become so close.
Once we get there, I'm just not going to look at you two. Because if I look at you, I can't fight you.
Yeah, same.
Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, the minute I start thinking about you guys, I won't be able to do my best.
So it's not that I'm being rude.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't love you, but I just can't look at you.
You have to remember why you're here and what you want to do with it. That'll help you. I wish it didn't have to be you guys.
I know. Let's go. Come on, let's do this. I wouldn't like to go home today. I feel that it would be selling myself short. I would feel that I hadn't done what I came here to do.
I really want to be in this competition, and I need to give it everything I've got, and if I don't, I'm going home today.
Welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. Yesterday, you competed in the Lucky Dip invention test. You competed as a team. Now, you will compete against each other to stay in the competition. And by the end of today, this very special MasterChef experience will be over for one of you. The contest to see who stays and who goes will be decided by the pressure test.
There probably aren't two more scary words in the MasterChef lexicon than pressure test. You know how it works. You all get the same time, you all get the same recipe, you all get the same ingredients. You have to bring us the perfect representation of that dish. The bad news is that's not how it's going to work today. Today, the dish you'll be cooking will be cooked without a recipe and without the ingredients being given to you. This is the pressure test on steroids.
My stomach just drops. I just think, what? I was so confident that I was going to do really well with a recipe, and now I don't have one.
Under this cloche is a dish that everyone knows. It's made in hundreds of restaurants around the world and also in this country. The irony is it's probably not as well known in the country of origin as it is here. Your pressure test dish is sweet and sour with fried rice.
I hate sweet and sour sauce. I loathe it. It's sweet, it just hits the back of your throat. I don't like it. I don't cook it.
It's a familiar dish, yes, but it doesn't mean it's easy to make. Step up and take a closer look. I think the biggest danger with this pressure test is not having a recipe and not knowing what that protein is. So it's extremely important when you taste this dish right now, you galvanise that flavour in your head and identify what protein is in this dish.
The first pressure point of this challenge is naming that protein right. If you don't do that, you're pretty much signing a ticket home, and I'm not very confident with that.
Off you go.
I lean forward, and the first thing I do is pick up a piece of the batter and lick it, smell it, taste it. I am 100% positive that it's pork. It's the sauce that I really want to work out.
Tasting the rice, there is a few things that I'm thinking, there's a few different meats in here. I can taste chicken, but then I can taste a Chinese sausage, but then I can taste bacon, and I'm thinking, would they put all that together, or is that something to trick us, or is it one thing that's made into two with the bacon and the sausage, or... Yeah, it's not as easy as you'd think.
When I'm tasting the dish, I'm not worried about the fried rice at all. I'm a really poor uni student, so I pretty much just have rice with whatever is in the fridge that's going off. But I'm so scared about that sauce. I'm thinking that there's tomato sauce in there, but then on the other hand, I'm thinking this is MasterChef. Why would you put tomato sauce in a sauce?
Even though it's Chinese, this sauce is made with everyday ingredients from an Aussie pantry. So don't overthink it. Trust me.
So the rules. You have 75 minutes. You have an open pantry. You can go in and out of there as many times as you like. But remember, every time you leave that bench and stop cooking, it's time wasted.
I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm sad because one of us is leaving and we don't know who, and no matter who goes, this is going to be really, really hard.
75 minutes to a sweet victory or a sour final note. It is up to you, and your time starts now. 75 minutes to a sweet victory or a sour final note. It is up to you, and your time starts now.
Chelsea, Ellie and Rachel are in a pressure test today. They need to create sweet and sour with rice. They've got 75 minutes and no recipe.
The first thing I do is immediately write down everything that's still fresh in my head and all the flavours that are still in my mouth. So I start off with basically everything that's in the fried rice, the batter that I'm going to use for the pork, the cut of pork that I'm going to get, the veggies and everything else that's going to go into my sweet and sour sauce, and the base of my sweet and sour sauce.
My age is actually going to help me in this challenge because I'm an 80s girl. I remember when all we could afford to eat was cheap Chinese. I've got my list of ingredients I need from the pantry, so I start from one end, I just methodically work down the shelves. I'm only coming in this pantry once. I'm not going backwards and forwards.
We're all frantically running around looking for ingredients. We all have very different ingredients, and when it comes to the protein, I see Chelsea grab pork loin, so I don't know what it is. Just grab it as well. Where's the oil?
I had a good look at a couple of chunks of pork in the tasting, and they were not all the same colour. So when I'm having a look at the pork on the shelf, there is a loin there, but I know that that's not the right cut. Oh, and then I pick up the shoulder, and that, to me, those bits of meat and the little bit of sinew and whatever, that is what I want.
Chelsea runs out of the pantry, and the first thing I see is basmati rice. I just want to grab her head and shake her. You're making a classic Chinese dish. You don't make a basmati fried rice, you make a long grain fried rice.
Hey, hon, what kind of rice do you have? Basmati? Which one?
I'm so grateful to have Danny telling me what ingredients to swap because she's fantastic at Asian cuisine and she's one of my closest buddies in the house, so very grateful.
I'll be cooking my rice by the absorption method, which is just a cup of rice to a cup and a half of water. But I'm going to just use a cup of water and half a cup of stock because I noticed that the rice actually had, a little bit of flavour to it. It wasn't just, white steamed rice.
And now wash it. Yeah.
I get my rice onto the boil and I'm using absorption method, so I just leave the lid on pretty much for about 18 minutes, and then while that's doing its thing, I then get onto my pork.
The first thing Ellie's done is she's filled a pot with water and popped it on the stove to boil. Using the boiling method can give you gluggy rice.
Don't open the lid.
Lots of gorgeous sweet and sour smells in this kitchen. I think you're in a good place, but you've only got 45 minutes to go, and I hate to tell you, but somebody's going home on the back of this challenge.
Ali, how you going?
Yeah, good, I think.
What protein did you pick and what cut?
I picked the pork
Yep.
And that is a pork.
loin.
You're 100% sure that was the protein and the cut?
I was until you just asked me.
Could be chicken, could be veal.
Rice, you confident with stir fry?
Yeah. I make a lot of stir fries at home.
Okay.
But you're not. I would have thought that you would use an absorption method for the rice. You're actually just boiling it.
Yeah, well,
Is that what
this is
you
how
do at
I
home?
do it, and this is how I get the fluffiest rice.
Because there's a key to cooking good rice for a stir fry, right? Don't want it to be claggy, don't want it to be overcooked.
Yeah.
I haven't seen wash rice like that.
I've never seen that.
Ever.
Okay, maybe I should do the absorption method.
No, you do what you think's right.
Hey, whatever gives you a good result, Ellie.
I just went with the boiling method for some reason, and that's the way I always cook rice. That pressure messes with your head.
It's really important to get your sweet and sour sauce right. If you put too much of something or not enough of something, you're not going to get that right balance, and then it's not a sweet and sour sauce.
What I do is chop the vegetables up, chuck it all in, and get it caramelising.
Yep.
Then I break down my pineapple, get 2 beautiful pieces, chop them up and get them onto my sauce because the pineapple is what's going to give it the sweetness, as well as the tomato sauce, the capsicums, the red onions and a bit of soy sauce.
It's actually all right. Maybe a touch more vinegar.
Chelsea.
Hi.
There's a lot of shouting down from the wings here. They're giving you too much help or what?
It's always good from the outside. It's easy to give a comment, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. I'm never going to give comments again.
Right, a lot of energy on this bench here. You're barreling into it.
Oh, really?
What protein did you pick?
Pork.
Pork, OK. Which bit of pork did you choose? What's that?
The big loin.
Is it tender or is it tough?
Well, I took all the sinew off, so I think it should be tender once I've fried it. Yeah.
Right, so what's going in your sweet and sour?
I listened to what you said, and you said Australian kind of ingredients, so I'll grab tomato sauce.
Yeah, tomato sauce.
Some
Sweet and sour in
vinegar.
itself, isn't it?
Kind of. I just hope it's not too Australian.
Chelsea,
Yes.
how much do you want to stay in this competition?
I want this so much. I want it this much.
We'll leave you to it then. Yeah, totally.
Not arguing with that.
No.
When Rachel chooses the pork shoulder, I'm initially a little bit concerned. I'd read a recipe not that long ago of a sweet and sour pork and it used pork fillet. So that was in my mind. And also I see both Elle and Chelsea choose pork fillet. So I'm a little bit concerned when she chooses the pork shoulder.
I know that I need to tenderise the pork, especially because it's the shoulder cut. So I'm soaking my pork in a mixture of bicarb and water just to tenderise it and make it more juicy.
Rachel, how you going?
I'm very well, thank you for asking, George.
Sweet and sour.
Yes.
What protein did you pick?
I picked pork.
And what cut?
Shoulder. Shoulder. It was the shoulder.
Great.
Interesting. Shoulder could be tough.
While I'm doing these veg, I thought I'd use that wee bit of time to tenderise the pork.
So explain to me this technique. You got water in there with what?
With a wee bit of bicarb.
Bicarb, yep.
Yep.
And that's
And,
what, hopefully breaking it down?
Yeah, tenderising it.
Yep.
And then I'll drain it on a bit of paper towel and then I'll toss it in corn flour and I'll brown it. And because I noticed inside the batter, the meat was already browned before.
OK. That's interesting. Are you sure the protein's pork shoulder? You have 30 minutes to go.
Rachel, Chelsea and Ellie are so tight together. They're such good friends and it must just be killing them inside to have to go through that together and not be able to support each other because they've all got to be selfish today.
My concern at this point is really with Rachel. She seems like she's slowing down a little bit. Chelsea's been getting a lot of help from these guys up here.
It's really how they use the next half an hour and pull it all together. But you know what? My money's on Ellie at the moment. I think she's doing a good job.
To make the sauce, I just pour in a little sugar, a little bit of vinegar, and then a bit of tomato sauce all around it. Let that soak in. But it's really thick, so I think I should add some water.
Now my veggies are prepped, I drain the pork on paper towel, then I quickly toss it in corn flour and brown it in heated oil.
Rachel?
Yes?
How you going?
I'm just browning the pork.
Yeah.
I noticed that it was browned inside the batter, so just getting that browned first. I'm just got the pineapple on to caramelise for the sauce.
Are you struggling with the sauce?
I definitely am, George.
Okay.
It's not something I like, so to be honest, it's not something I have made.
Think about it. It's 2 words. Sweet, sour.
Yes.
How are you going to get that balance, you know? Stop for a second, look at me.
Yes, George.
It's not hard. Just don't overthink it, all right? You're doing some good stuff there, yeah? That's all I'm going to tell you.
I think I've got the sauce worked out in my head, but can I be right? It just seems too basic.
Think about your batter, hon. You really need to probably practice a little bit of batter.
Yep. I'm not going to measure.
You don't need to measure, just do it by touch.
With 25 minutes to go, I think better get my batter on.
I pop in a bit of corn flour, some cold mineral water, whisk it together. It's looking a little bit stodgy.
Maybe add a bit of flour in it as well.
Chelsea, how you going?
Not too bad.
You all right?
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, I know. It's
Come here. Yeah, I'm sure your dad does that. You taking a lot of advice from upstairs?
Thank God, my buddy Danny's very good at Asian cuisine, so just a couple of little things, like I would have probably forgotten the tomato sauce, so...
I think you need to trust yourself now.
Yeah, something I don't do at all.
You're a good cook. You're here for a reason.
Thanks,
You're here because, you know, you've got this love and desire to cook great food. So just apply that into today's dish.
Yeah.
Forget about what happened yesterday. Today is a new day, and it's your chance to stay in this competition.
Thank you.
Go get it.
Thanks.
The question is, how hard will you fight to stay in this competition? The next 15 minutes will tell us.
I'm feeling pretty good. I've done my sauce. Now I'm gonna get started on my fried rice. First thing I do is I make my egg omelette. Then I chop up the chicken and I fry that off for a few seconds. And I throw the vegetables in the wok. I think I'm gonna go okay.
There's lots of interesting and weird techniques. I mean, take Rachel, for example. She's decided to brown her meat off and then dip it in the batter. I don't get that.
The good thing is they've all picked pork, but Rachel is the only one that picked the pork shoulder, which is what the hero dish was made from. Clever stuff.
Chelsea, she's working in an absolute mess. There's flour on the ground, there's flour all over her.
Is she going to keep it together? I don't know.
Ellie's got 3 different woks going and she's got a rice in one and it's really sticking to the pan and she's got her vegetables in another. It looks a bit odd to me.
Ellie, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going all right, just apart from the rice.
So what's the problem with the rice? Is it not dry enough? Or?
Yeah, it's not dry enough.
So you've got the danger of maybe getting gluggy when you mix all the other ingredients?
Yeah, I hope it's not. I hope I'm going to dry off some of that moisture.
How's the sauce? How's the sauce?
Yeah, the sauce is good.
What's the name of the sauce?
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and...
Sour.
Yeah.
Prawns. Yep, that's it. Get the rice in.
I'm slightly worried about Chelsea because Danny and a few other people seem to be shouting an awful lot of advice to her, and I think she's just getting confused.
I'm not going to put it all in.
Don't put it all in.
How's that rice looking?
Hi. Okay,
Yeah,
mate, I've
good.
just dried it out in the fridge, so it's not too
Yeah,
wet.
good. You don't want to be gluggy.
No.
How's your sweet and sour? Are you happy with the flavour?
I am.
Chelsea, your peas.
Oh, sugar, please.
Just a handful.
Tell me what you think.
Is that juicy enough? Is enough sauce there?
Maybe add a bit more.
Just think about what you saw in the bowl and how it coated the meat. All about fluffy rice, tangy sauce, and crunchy batter. Those are the 3 elements, yeah?
Yep. Yep.
It's quite painful watching Ellie assemble her fried rice. It's kind of like she's gone into meltdown and she's just throwing random things in, and it's not the way I would make fried rice, but I know that she just needs to get it on the plate now.
Rach, you've only got 7 minutes. You better chuck the other pork in there.
What?
You got to get that pork in.
I know, I just wanted to see. I didn't want to burn it.
I feel really anxious for Rachel. She hasn't got her sauce finished. She hasn't started cooking her fried rice, and she hasn't finished deep frying the pork. And I'm thinking that is a lot to get done.
How is this challenge going to end for you? Sweet or sour? You've got 5 minutes to go.
I'm worried Chelsea's not tasting her sauce, and if she's not tasting it, how's she going to figure out that balance between sweet and sour?
Taste the chills.
Yep.
I'm at Rachel's bench. I don't think she's going to make it. She's got a lot on the go. She still has meat in the deep fryer, and I think she's lost it. I think her focus has failed, and she's not going to pull it together.
Just flick it on. Now get your plate. Get your plates. Don't leave it in there too long because it will get soggy.
Chelsea's added the pork to her sweet and sour and it's reduced right down, so I don't know if there's going to be enough for the judges.
You have 1 minute to go.
There's not enough time left.
You're running out of time.
It's really killing me watching Ellie with this rice because I know that she thinks something's wrong. I can't put my finger on the flavour of this rice. I end up just picking up the soy sauce, splashing it all around the rice, and then I just think, what have I done? This could send me home.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Your time's up.
What was I thinking? Like, soy sauce is so strong, and that's when I just thought, I've blown it.
I'm pretty happy with my dish today. Out of the 3 elements, I'm probably not that confident about the pork.
Rachel, are you pleased with your dish?
Yes, I am happy with the dish. It could be done better. I think I'd like to play and do it a bit more and, you know, perfect it. It's not something that I whip up every Friday night.
George and I noticed that you deployed an interesting little technique with that pork. You fried it off before you battered it?
I noticed when I was tasting it that the meat had been cooked before it had been battered.
Okay. Do you think?
You could see the browning on the outside of the meat.
And of the 3 elements, what do you like the best?
I'm quite happy with the fried rice. I'm sorry, I haven't changed my mind. I don't really like sweet and sour.
All right, Rachel, time for us to taste the dish. Keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank you, enjoy.
Wow, what a great-looking replica of the dish we had earlier on today. I think Rachel's done a magnificent job just by looking at it.
I think it looks fabulous. I might be let down by the flavour. There's only one way to find out.
If Rachel can make sweet and sour this good, I want to ring her up and order a black bean and beef and a chicken cashew to go with this dish. I think that's a really, really good example, and almost a note perfectly, a copy of the sauce we put up. As for the pork, my pork's a little bit dry.
My pork's definitely dry, and that's one. You know, that's from sealing it off first and then battering it. I've actually never seen that technique done before, and now I know why it's not meant to be done like that.
Yeah. Fried rice? Bang on, love it. One little point, and that's the pork, and it's a big part of this dish.
Walking up to the judges, I'm happy with the pork and the sauce, but the rice, I don't know if I've got the flavours right. What have I done? This could send me home.
Ellie, what are you most proud of in terms of these 2 dishes?
Looking at it now, I'm really happy with the sauce and the pork, but probably not so happy with the fried rice. I think I've got all the ingredients, but I'm not sure whether it tasted like the one that I tried this morning.
Thank you so much. We're going to taste.
You know what I find really difficult is actually being in the kitchen, watching them cooking, and then seeing the final dish. If I was a customer, I'd just judge it purely on how it looks. And I'm swayed, honestly, by how Ellie worked in the kitchen. She was absolutely brilliant. But I was disappointed when she cooked the fried rice. And I can see it. It looks a bit lacklustre. You know, it's not as colourful as Rachel's fried rice. And again, the pork too, that sauce just doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, but look at the batter. Look how crunchy that batter looks. That's the sort of batter that makes you want to reach out and grab a bit before it's even served. I think it's that kind of good batter. My question is that darkness of the rice. Too much soy sauce probably in there. If there's too much soy sauce, it's going to bury the flavour of the other ingredients.
Shall we taste?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Love the batter, love it. Crispy, gorgeous, great sweet and sour, but fried rice, bit of a letdown.
It's too much soy sauce. I think there was a tiny amount of soy in ours, but there I kind of taste it, and it's like one of my kids has got the soy sauce bottle and just going like that with it.
The question is that brilliant, crispy battered pork and that lovely sweet and sour sauce enough to make this a saving dish with that rice?
In my mind, I'm thinking, please like it. I want today to be over, and I want to either know if they're going to like my dish and I'm going to stay, or if I'm going to go.
The three of you had a pact to not look at each other, and then you're standing there at the back of the room watching Ellie and Rachel just in front of you. Did that make it harder today?
To be honest, I thought it would be so hard because I've got them before me and in front of me, but you kind of don't have time to even look up.
Although you did have time to look up and to listen to the advice from Danny that was thrown down. You had probably one of our best Asian cooks in the kitchen helping you there. That must have been a huge advantage.
Yeah, she's a very good Asian cook and, you know, she's great at Vietnamese and, you know, I trust her advice 100%.
Right, Chelsea, when it's time for us to taste your dish, thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you.
I think her fried rice looks really colourful and presentable and tasty. I want to tuck in there. The thing I am noticing is, with her sweet and sour, where's the sauce?
I fear there may be some problems with the sweet and sour.
Yeah. Only one way to find out?
I love the stir-fry rice, but I don't like the actual pork. I find it really, really tough. She did pick tenderloin, but in saying that, I think the blanket of batter around the outside hasn't protected it enough, and it's really dry and tough. Well, the pieces I have definitely are.
Look, it's not the pork that spoils it for me, honestly, it's the sweet and sour. It strikes me as just a bit watery and not quite the right balance. I don't like that. It's maybe a bit too vinegary for me.
I just think there's one thing you can say about this rice, and that's this. That when you lift that, every grain falls separately, the way a great fried rice should do. I think that's the first rice we've seen do that. So I think that rice is far and away the best we've had.
The rice is lovely and fluffy, lots of different ingredients in there. There's some good and bad elements of every single one of these dishes. Big decision, tough decision, but one we have to make.
The judges have tasted our dishes, and now it is the worst part of the day where we find out who will be going home.
This is a really hard challenge, and you all put up dishes that closely resembled what you tasted. Within those dishes, there were elements in each. You did well, you didn't do quite so well. So that makes this a really hard decision. Guys, I can reveal that the protein you were looking for was pork. The correct cut was shoulder. Rachel, you're the only person to pick the right cut. Well done.
Thank you.
Rachel, that sweet and sour sauce was absolutely bang on copy of the one you're supposed to copy. Fantastic. Fried rice, generous, delicious. But because of the cooking technique that you chose to use for the pork, even though you picked the right cut, it was dry. Ellie, great flavour balance in your sauce. Beautiful crispy batter on your pork. But your rice was limp and had too much soy sauce in it. Chelsea, you made the best rice of the day. But some of your meat was slightly tough. You didn't get the balance right, and there just wasn't enough sweet and sour sauce.
Rachel, how hard has it been cooking against these two girls today?
It's like hurting a part of your family. Not only are these my colleagues, they're my roommates. And
why are you so close?
My daughter is the same age as Elle, and Chelsea's just like, the little sister everyone wanted to have. And I probably have enjoyed being with them, having fun, cooking.
Being our mum.
But is being the mum getting in the way of you getting ahead in this competition?
It is actually beginning to, yes. This is a competition, and if I want to succeed, I need to focus and be more true to myself and cook and show you three how well I can cook.
Ellie, outside MasterChef, what are you doing with your life?
I'm studying nursing and public health at uni in Brisbane.
So why'd you go into nursing for?
My parents always want the best for me, and they think that's going to uni and getting a degree.
Do you think they'd be disappointed knowing that you now want to go into the hospitality industry?
No, I have very supportive parents and sisters. My sisters all pushed me into applying for MasterChef. So did my mum. And I love cooking for them.
Chelsea, you accepted a lot of advice from Danny today. Do you suffer from self-doubt in the competition?
You're thrown hurdles in life from early childhood to, sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
And you can only try and learn and progress and learn from each hurdle that you overcome. And I feel like there's been a lot of hurdles. I'm getting over them, and no matter what happens, I will continue to get over them. Sorry.
It's okay.
One of the three of you could be Australia's next MasterChef. But for one of you, that dream is about to end. Rachel, you're still in the competition.
Thank you, Gary.
Ellie, Chelsea, this is a tough and stressful competition. It comes down to the two of you and the dish that you both cooked today.
I'll be crushed if I leave in the pressure test.
It just makes me sick to think that on the back of this, I could be going home.
Chelsea? Ellie, Chelsea, it comes down to the two of you and the dish that you both cooked today. Chelsea? I'm sorry, you're out.
It's okay. I would have cried if she had been out.
I'm still going to cook.
Everyone deserves
Oh my God. I'm going home to plan my restaurant.
I know this is a sad moment, but what's really lovely about this moment is that you've just told us what your dream is, and it's that dream's a reality.
Definitely.
What was your favourite challenge?
As bad as it was, the crocodile.
The greatest thing about this dish is that puttanesca sauce. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
What you brought to this competition is this kind of magnetic energy that attracts people to you. And it's the same magnetic energy that will serve you brilliantly back in Melbourne.
You know, with one door closing, another one opens, and that's what life's all about. I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Yep.
And leave the MasterChef kitchen.
You guys so much. Just thank Danny and Claire. I love them to bits. And Matt and everyone. Okay. All right, see you guys. Thank you. Ciao, Bellas.
Even though the MasterChef doors are closing behind me, I know that there's many more doors about to open for me, and I'm excited. I think the biggest thing I've learned in this competition about myself is to trust myself more, to trust my decisions, to go with my gut instinct. So, without a doubt, this has changed my life.
Up until this point, it's been all guys leaving the house. Today, the First Lady's going home from this competition, and no matter what happens, the dynamic in the house is going to change dramatically.
We're all sitting outside having a couple of nibbles and a couple of drinks and just waiting for someone to walk through those doors.
It has been such a huge day. I really learnt to appreciate how many people are holding me up. I need to show them what I can do. And if I dig really deep, I know I can do this.
When the girls come back into the house, it's a really strange feeling being happy for the girls that come back, but being really disappointed and sad that Chelsea's not coming back into the house.
Poor Chelsea.
She received a lot of advice from me in the kitchen today. That's something I've got to be careful of next time I've got a friend in the pressure test.
Feels really good to be home. I'm happy to see my family. I'd missed them a lot when I was away, so I'm happy to be back. I'm definitely going to be opening my own trattoria with my father one day. It's something that's in our blood, and I know that we're meant to open a place together.